All right, let's talk about this crazy judge who forces defendants to go vote or they're going to jail.
But here in Cuyahoga County, one judge is under fire for ordering dozens of defendants to cast a ballot or face jail time.
Then she goes on and says judges should look like the criminals.
I thought that it was important that, especially in criminal cases, where when you have people that on one side of the bench, they can look at the judge and say, wow, she looks like me, then maybe I have a better shot.
Her son was also sent to prison for murdering his wife.
Developments, the son of a local judge convicted of murder.
Today he'll learn the price for taking his wife's life.
Then the judge started just letting defendants go, no matter how guilty they were.
This man, Serus Walters, was in court here earlier this week, pleading guilty to brutally assaulting 3 men, all within the same month. However, the judge let him walk, and now his victims are outraged.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Here's a quick message from the sponsor of this video, Zocdoc. You ever do anything where something's off? Your eye's swollen, your neck got a weird pain, or you have a cold that just won't quit. And instead of calling a doctor, you scroll TikTok and YouTube like that's gonna fix it. Or maybe you're just too busy. You think it'll heal on its own. Or you're like, I don't know which doctor to go to. Trust me, I've made every excuse in the book too. But now I use Zocdoc, and it makes things a lot easier. Zocdoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high quality in-network doctors and instantly book appointments. We're talking about over 100,000 doctors from across every specialty, from mental health, dental, primary care, urgent care, you name it, they got it. And with Zocdoc, you can filter by insurance, see who's nearby, and check real reviews from verified patients. Now, simply just pick your time slot and boom, appointments usually happen between 24 and 72 hours, sometimes even the same day. Now, full disclosure, I personally use Zocdoc, and the doctor that I go to now, I found on Zocdoc. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments. Go to Zocdoc.com/Nate the Lawyer. The link is in the pinned comment or in the description of this video. Now, back to the story. This is Judge Cassandra Collier-Williams. Now, Judge Williams is originally from Ohio and has practiced law there since 1989. She was first elected to her judgeship in 2012 and re-elected in 2018. Now, she was also elected co-chair of the Ohio Black Judges Association. Now, this judge came in letting everyone know that people needed to see judges that look like them. If you're a black criminal, you want to see a black judge because it gives you better chances. If you're a white criminal, you want to see white judges. Here is exactly what she said.
Because it's also a way of kind of serving the people, giving back, and trying to do what I can to really promote justice and fair dealings and that kind of thing. So I wanted to be a judge because I thought I could make a difference as a judge. I thought that it was important that, especially in criminal cases, where when you have people that on one side of the bench, they can look at the judge and say, wow, she looks like me, then maybe I have a better shot or something. Even though, you know, we're fair to everybody, I think it's important for people to see that sort of relationship, or see that sort of, you know, where they can relate kind of to the judge, or better yet, they can think that the judge can relate to them. You may know what I've been through. You may know how I got to where I'm at.
So this judge was extremely happy that she looks like a lot of the criminal defendants that come before her. Then the judge started making some very interesting rulings from the bench. One of those crazy rulings was that she forced defendants to vote as a condition of their probation. And if they didn't vote, she would send them to jail. You think I'm joking?
Well, millions of us vote every year. Millions of others don't. But here in Cuyahoga County, one judge is under fire for ordering dozens of defendants to cast a ballot or face jail time.
Judge Cassandra Collier-Williams. In dozens of cases, Collier-Williams gave defendants an unusual, some say unconstitutional, choice. Go to the voting booth or go to jail. For Rayshawn Dawson, it was an easy call.
I just go to jail.
At his sentencing last May, the judge ordered him to register to vote.
I felt like it was a violation of my rights.
Dawson simply ignored the judge's mandate, despite the possibility of violating his probation.
I mean, it should be my choice if I vote or not. I shouldn't be in fear of going to jail or being incarcerated because I choose not to vote.
Now, the judge defended her stance and was like, hold on, I'm doing this for a good reason.
The judge argued she's always issued the voting requirement with good intentions.
Our job is not just to tear down defendants. We're trying to build them up.
Collier-Williams stopped the practice last week after Channel 3 News began asking questions.
My opinion was that unless I see a basis to not do it, then we'll continue doing it.
Now, things kept getting worse for the judge. See, her son then got caught up on a murder beef. He allegedly killed his wife in a domestic violence incident.
36-year-old Amasan murdered his wife inside their home on East 265th Street in Euclid. He is the son of Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court Judge Cassandra Collier-Williams.
Now, the judge, not wanting to see her son do a life sentence, decided to speak on his behalf.
All right, I'd like to hear from the defense now. Attorney Zuckerman.
Thank you, Attorney. Please, court. We would like to present first two witnesses to speak on Mr. Zola's behalf. The first is Judge Cassandra Collier-Williams. Would you like her to approach the bench or speak from the gallery?
It's up to her, wherever she wants.
I'll just speak from here. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
I just want to say to my son that, we love you, and, we support the team and the hard work that everything was done in this case. We don't want you to ever forget that we love you, and I'm proud of you, of everything that you've done. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Now, as you can see, this is a white judge about to sentence a black man to life in prison, and Judge Williams wasn't really happy about that. She doesn't look like him. But it doesn't matter what you look like, it matters what you did. So the son was sentenced to life imprisonment with a possibility of parole in 21 years.
Amasan Azali was sentenced to 21 years to life. He has to serve those 2 gun spec charges before they can charge him, or before he can be sentenced to that 21 years to life. The bottom line is he's going to spend a lot of time leaving his children now, basically, with other family. At the Justice Center, Harry Boomer, 19 News.
So obviously this upset the judge to no end. You got this white woman sentencing her son to a life in prison for killing his wife. Who the hell is this other judge? So the judge started changing a little bit. See, she had a lot more sympathy for black defendants. As an example, let's fast forward to July 2023, when police were on the lookout for a man who's assaulting people at random in the city.
All right, this is very concerning. A brutal attack outside a downtown hotel. The person who did it still out there.
I just went down like this, and I'm covering my face.
David Dudley is a California-based attorney who also works in Cleveland. On March 29th, around 7 p.m., he was walking towards the downtown Hilton to grab a drink. That's when he says this man came out of the hotel and approached him.
He looked a little intoxicated, to be honest, so I was a little wary of him. And he smiles, gives me a weird smile as he walks by me. And the next thing I know, I get a left hook to my left eye.
Dudley says he was hit several times, and the attack didn't stop even when he hit the ground.
He kicked me in my right rib cage. He kicked me twice in the right shoulder. Then he kicked me 5 times in the back of the head. My injuries were a major contusion to my left eye, fractured right shoulder, major bruising to the back and side of my head.
What might be the most disturbing part about this is that there was no apparent motive.
He didn't say a word, not one word during this attack. And I asked him several times, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And no response.
Random attack.
Random attack. Never seen this guy once in my life.
Now, police did have some surveillance footage that showed how the suspect looked.
Police released this surveillance footage which shows the suspect minutes after the brutal beatdown. He's seen stumbling down the streets, walking away from the hotel, heading down Lakeside Avenue, and at one point he falls face down on the sidewalk. He even falls into a building A worker with the Downtown Cleveland Alliance tries to help him out, but he runs away. CPD is now hoping someone out there recognizes this man before anyone else gets hurt.
We ask that they give us a call, and we hope to find this individual who obviously is, assaulted this victim, and we want to bring justice to the victim, and we hope we can make an arrest soon.
Now, eventually they did catch up with this guy, and this is what they found out.
I'm ready to get in this cop car and face my time.
Listen,
bro. I have nothing on me, bro. I have on me.
Take a look at this body cam footage from Metro Parks Police. It shows officers arresting Serus Walters for robbery and assault. 19 Investigates began tracking the 19-year-old's criminal background and found a disturbing trend, one that ended when one of his alleged victims came forward.
I saw a picture of him on Channel 19, and I knew it was him.
Reports show Walters' crime spree began in Bowling Green. Police there arrested him last summer for slashing a woman's tires. Walters claimed he didn't do it.
I'm not the only person out in Bowling Green, bro. Just because I took a walk.
In January, Walters was found guilty of criminal damaging and sentenced to 90 days in jail. However, a judge suspended his sentence and Walters was released. According to reports, his crimes then escalated to brutal random attacks.
I don't know what's going through his head. I don't know. I don't have a clue on why he attacking me.
This man wants to remain anonymous, so we'll call him Tony. On March 11th, Tony says Walters attacked him at the food court in Tower City.
I was terrified.
19 News obtained this surveillance video from RTA police. Watch as Walters approaches Tony from behind, then begins pounding him in the face.
It starts swinging real wild.
Walters told officers his brother probably did it, since the two look alike, but police didn't buy it and they arrested him for assault. But the very next day, he'd be back on the streets.
I ain't no crime, bro. We've been walking this whole time.
On March 12th, Metro Parks police received a call that a man was assaulted near Whiskey Island.
He said he's just walking down. Guy, black coat, comes up, asks him if he has any money. He says no. The next thing you know, he hits him in the back of the head. He fell down, got up, and he hit him in the mouth.
The man's injuries required stitches.
You're bleeding pretty good, all right, so.
Walters again denied doing anything wrong.
There's black people with dreads that look like each other. I don't even know nobody,
pointed
bro.
at you directly.
I don't know him.
Relax.
Man, you relax.
How much you been drinking today?
I ain't drunk nothing, bro.
You reek of alcohol, so simmer the down.
Crazy, bro.
Just 2 weeks later, attorney David Dudley says Walter attacked him outside the Hilton in downtown Cleveland. 5 days later, Walters was arrested in Maple Heights. Now Tony wonders why he wasn't kept behind bars in the first place.
I'm very disappointed that the system is not working to protect citizens like me and other people.
So now this guy needs to be put under the jail. Obviously, he doesn't care about beating people up. He doesn't care about injuring people. This guy is eventually going to kill someone. So now with multiple victims, multiple crimes, it's time for this guy to go to jail. But lucky for him, he just pulled Judge Collier-Williams, a judge that looks like him. Now, the defendant here, Walters, was facing some real serious jail time. These were felony assault. And with his previous criminal history, it wasn't looking good. You got live witnesses who are saying he did it. You got most of these assaults caught on camera. Walters decided, hey, I'm just going to plead guilty and throw myself on the mercy of the court.
This man, Serus Walters, was in court here earlier this week, pleading guilty to brutally assaulting 3 men, all within the same month.
Now, after admitting to these violent assaults, Judge Collier-Williams decided that the defendant was really the victim in some way. She reduced his charges and let him go without serving really any punishment.
As we told you at the top of this newscast, victims who were viciously attacked by a Northeast Ohio man are demanding justice tonight.
They say he showed no remorse, yet the judge released him.
I have been in front of over 1,000 judges.
But the one who's baffled him the most is Judge Cassandra Collier-Williams. Earlier this week, Serus Walters pleaded guilty to assaulting 3 men. During Walters' bench trial this past Monday, Collier-Williams reduced his felony charge to a misdemeanor, allowing Walters to walk the streets of Cleveland once again.
Judge Williams didn't even put him on any kind of supervision. The prosecutor was shocked at that.
Shocked, he says, because when Walters addressed the court, he failed to take responsibility for his actions.
He neither apologized to me nor any of the other victims he acknowledged attacking. He showed no remorse, not one shred of remorse.
I feel the judge let us down.
We'll call this man Tony. Surveillance video captured Walters beating on him in Tower City.
Broke my glasses, and also I had a few knots on the back of my head. I had a ring around my eye.
Tony says he's devastated by the judge's ruling.
She's just getting time served, which is, I think, ridiculous because I feel he's a menace to society.
When Judge Collier-Williams let him go with time served.
The judge gave him the absolute minimum sentence that was available.
He's going to be out there doing the same thing again.
And those words are so true because 2 days after the judge released him, he was arrested again. As Fox News reports, Walters was most recently arrested again on Wednesday for a minor offense in Garfield Heights. You know, thinking about this story, it made me think of that old saying, justice is blind. And whenever justice is portrayed, it's usually with a blindfold, right? And that blindfold means that it doesn't matter what you look like. If you come into this court, you're going to get justice. And that's because it's not about what you are, it's about who you are. But it doesn't seem like Judge Collier-Williams really believes that.
I thought that it was important that, especially in criminal cases, where when you have people that on one side of the bench, they can look at the judge and say, wow, she looks like me, then maybe I have a better shot.
And that's the problem. You're supposed to believe you have a fair shot no matter what the judge looks like, no matter what the defendant looks like. It's blind. But to her, it's not. And letting this maniac back into the community doesn't help the community, doesn't help the black community because he's even attacking black people. Only thing she did was hurt the community as a whole. But as always, tell me where I'm wrong in the comments section. Do you think I'm being too hard on this judge? Because we're talking about bail reform and give this guy another shot. And when you come back with those arguments, remember, this wasn't this guy's first rodeo. He has a whole bunch of arrests. There are multiple victims. So it's not like this is a one-time thing. And she still let him go with that full knowledge. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you, she was just reelected and her term is from 2025 to 2030. Now, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that great YouTube stuff. My name is Nate the Lawyer and I'm out. Peace.